What makes Litchfield Bancorp different from other banks?
I think it's the community service. For example, myself, I'm currently the chairman of the United Way Board.
Great.
Our president is the chairman of the Chamber Board. We're members of Rotaries, Lions Clubs, DARE, Crime Stoppers, local library boards, and we live here.
Yep.
We live and work here. Our families, our children play for the local Little League teams. I live in Torrington. Our president lives in New Hartford. Our manager lives here in Litchfield. So we're homegrown. Hence, it makes us a little bit more accountable. And I think what we do locally is very important for the customers we serve, because we're right here.
Yeah.
So.
That's always nice. It gives it that local, homegrown touch.
Well, you and I mentioned about, my opportunity to speak at the high school to kids coming up through the ranks and how do you balance a checkbook, or our 17th annual community day, or our corporate sponsorship of the road race. I'm often asked, what would people do without community banks? And I'm not quite sure what they would do. And I don't mean that arrogantly. I'm really concerned about the $95,000 we give to local charities annually. Where would that come from?
Yeah.
Where would the Litchfield Little League get their sign from? The $5,000 sign, if it weren't for the Litchfield Bancorp. And I mean that respectfully to Torrington Savings Bank, Union Savings Bank, all these local banks that are my friends in competition, but I don't know what we would do without us.
Yeah, you just mentioned that you had your 17th annual community day. Community day. What was the inception for this, and what's like the impact on the community?
Yeah, when Mark Mackenber came, and he just recently retired, came here 18 years ago, he just thought that there was a void in regards to Litchfield Bancorp and what we were doing for our customers. It wasn't a give and take. It was more of just a take. So what could we do that was family oriented, free, fun, that would bring some of our customers here to meet us, get to know us, and enjoy themselves for 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon? Who knew that it would run for 17 years and that we had 595 hot dogs we gave out on a day that it rained and we were inside the firehouse?
Yeah.
Who knew? It was just a way for us to try to change our brand at the time.
Right. That
we are here for you. And maybe that wasn't a job that we were doing a great job at up until that point. Hence here we are 17 years later and we're still talking about it.
It's great.
Yeah.
I think I still have my Litchfield Bancorp sunglasses from when I was 4 years old.
Good.
So.
Yeah, good. Were they orange or green?
Green.
Green. Okay, I remember those.
I might have had an orange pair too,
okay.
Actually.
All right.
Other forms of community outreach you might have? You mentioned Rotary, the Lions Club, donating to the Little Leagues, anything like that?
It goes on and on and on. The local softball teams, the Little League, the Torrington Titans were a corporate sponsor. The Chambers were a corporate sponsor. The United Way were a corporate sponsor. Oliver Wolcott Library, I was on the board there. Washington Rotary, Litchfield Rotary, Torrington Rotary. It just goes on. And I think what's important about it is we have a level of expectation of our staff to get involved in the communities, but it's the easiest sell I can ever make to a staff member because they generally come here already part of those give back opportunities. So it's not something I ever have to browbeat people, but at the same time it's what we enjoy.
Yeah.
My best days at Litchfield Bancorp when I'm not spending 8 hours sitting here. So, and that's kind of what we try to stress to our staff. Get out and meet people, network. I'm a firm believer that people do business with those whom they like and whom they respect. So if you can be out there and get to know people and hold yourself well and gain that likability and that respect, I think it comes back threefold. And I think that's been proven. When Mark came here, we were an $87 million bank. We are now a $215 million bank.
That's great.
With that model.
Any kind of social media outreach?
Sure. We have a nice Facebook page. I think we have about 200 friends. Our industry's got to be a little bit careful from a regulatory standpoint, from a social media standpoint, but I want to be there. The LinkedIn's, the Twitters, the Facebook. We have a nice website. You know, we do a constant contact email once or twice a month. We have a nice website, I think, and I think we will continue to do that. A lot of our emails now, our statements are electronic. Our electronic banking chassis of product is up there with the best of them, which is not necessarily common for some of the smaller banks. They tend to lag behind. But I'm a firm believer that your technological reputation is very important. If you lag too far behind, prospective customers and businesses may think we may have a problem. So I think we put an ample amount of our assets into those buckets. And check out our Facebook. I mean, I think it's pretty neat because we talk a lot about, we don't promote products as much as we promote our people and some of our accomplishments at that level within the Litchfield County.